going on, everybody? Friday night live stream. This is Tim here, Volatility Trading. Hopefully you all are having a good day. It does take no talent to be on time. You aren't wrong about that. I was putting up my green screen and turning my lights on, man. Relax. I forgot. I'm good at forgetting things. How's everybody doing? Brian, Thomas, Justin, what's up? I kind of knew Justin was here because, you know, we were kind of doing a little something beforehand. Oh, I am such a bad host. Ugh. Shin, how we doing? So, what's everybody up to? Everybody have a good day today? Everybody have a good week? Everybody excited to not trade on Monday? I'm not. A little sad. Oh, I totally forgot something at the house. While everybody's kind of piling in here and let me know how their day has gone, I am going to message the wife real quick. Alrighty. Zishan, what's up, Mom? How are you doing? Tim, do you know if ISW has a merch site? It's a good question. I don't think so. Brian, do you do you have a merch site? Watching Domino's ads on my channel, or like to watch this, or that'd be kind of weird if there was a Domino's ad to watch my live stream. That'd actually be really weird. Don't forget that like button on the way in, so that we can get this out to everybody. We can spread the joy. We can all partake in the wheel of awesomeness at the end. See who wins this week, and see if we have enough people for the ISW giveaway as well. What else was I gonna say? I was gonna say one other thing. I don't know. What do you guys think of the GDT return? GDT put his video out. I don't know what it means, but it was pretty interesting. I just saw like some rain and then some guy pick up a GDT shirt out of the snow. Not really sure what it means. Like, was he trying to say rain, it got really cold, turned into snow, like winter is coming? I don't know. I don't know, to be completely honest. I actually don't know if I even monetize these videos. I haven't checked in so long, but I mean, if it's giving you an ad, I'm going to assume that it is automatically. But every time I look at it, I'm pretty sure I don't, because there's a thing that says monetization. You gotta click it, and I don't think I ever click it for these. But maybe it's just based off the last one. Yeah, it says it's on. Oh, sorry. Nice poetic interpretation attempt. Yeah, I didn't quite get it, to be honest. Like, I mean, I'm just happy he posted a video. If not, I'll just make my own. Justin, did you show Brian what you showed me? Look, now I'm putting teasers out there. Well, yeah, I mean, Thomas is awesome. That's true. No one quite gets GDT. Okay, cool. Wait. So I just said you're awesome, and then you said, yeah, you suck? Oh, the teaser. Yeah, oh, sorry. It's pretty cool. It'll be soon enough. It'll be soon enough. No. I already said too much. But he kind of started it, asking about the merch. You should have the shirt and the hat, though, right? GT should take over this channel. I'll sell it to him. I'll sell it to you with all the subscribers. Nah, GDT's got to catch me again. I'm the big man on campus now. Yeah, see? I'm the big dog. Well, this is a pretty good week. 86%. It's higher than we've had in the past. A lot of green trades in here. The only real big loss was that HBI trade, which was a bit annoying. And quite honestly, I don't even remember this FRSX trade. Let's take a look. That was actually at the beginning of the week. Here it is. Here was the HBI trade. This thing just never pulled back. I don't remember if we recycled shares on this one. I want to say we did. And then we got heavy right there. Or maybe we got out of it and then tried to get back in and added some size and then it went back up. I'd have to look at the thingamajigger. FRSX was our next biggest loser. So yeah, it looks like we took... Okay, yeah, I remember this. Let me pull this one up because this is the one that shows all of them. So we got some pretty good size here. Then we tried it again. That was a full cut right here. Another full cut. It was a right or right out at the whole dollar. And then it gave us a nice little push. And then we got back in and made most of the loss back because this was a bigger loss. Let me see. So FRSX, yeah. So we lost 23.63. Then that second one we lost 8.65. But then we made 24 of it back. So it was still red on the ticker, but not as bad as it was. HBI, on the other hand, that one really didn't give us any second opportunities that I liked. So we ended up just taking the loss on that one. No pullback, no money. And I was a little frustrated today with our trade on FTFT. I was playing this thing so well, and we just could not. At one point, if you go watch the live trade, we were like half goal unrealized. We had most of it banked. We started it here. We added some size looking for that push down towards this previous resistance, right? A pretty big push. Looking for it to come back down. It did not. So what I did was I took off half to see what it would do at high of day, especially since we were right there at the whole dollar. And it actually ripped up and came right back down. We kind of missed the pop-up through 8. Got the add here. Came back down. I think I just added back what we took off, right? Yeah. And we got most of it out right here. And right here at the bottom of these two candles, we were unrealized about half our goal in the day. So even though we had to recycle these shares, we ended up with a pretty good average on this. And when it came down, and we got we took out 100 and then 50. Yeah, so we were down to 25% of our position, and we were just looking for it to push down below this area, down into here, at least attempt 750 and try to bust through, come down and test that previous resistance, and it just wouldn't do it. And I told myself as it was coming back up, I was like, I'm not going to get spooked. I'm going to wait till high of day on this one. And it came back up and it started to form sloppy seconds. It tried 810, came down, came back up to 810. And when it rejected that second time, I said, okay, I think this is going to be a nice push down. And it pretty much dumped right to this area here. I felt it stall. So we took that half off again. Because it brought our average up nicely, and I said, okay, even if we get the continuation down to this 757 area again, that's going to be nice. And this whole time, we're just sitting here like, okay, this is a good trade. All we got to do is get it to come back down, and it wouldn't do it. It just kept, as you can see, it just kept getting bought up and going higher. And sure enough, I said, okay, it tried to come down. It held this 810 area twice. If it's going to break that 810 area, it's going to go high of day, right? It's going to go high of day. So I told myself I'm going to get out right there, which we do. As it was breaking it, breaks up, goes through high of day. And you guys hear me say it all the time. What it does after this initial pullback, right? Nobody knows. Is it going to go higher? And when it does go higher, if it goes higher, is it going to continue? I don't know. Is it going to go higher and be a fake break and then do exactly this and come down exactly to that line you were looking for before? I don't know. Is it going to go up to 820 and just go sideways? I don't know. It could do any of those things, but we don't know what it's going to do. The only constant thing that we know and is the high probability thing is that pullback, right? We're looking for the intense move into that pullback. That's our high probability play. That's the only constant you'll see in every single one of my charts. I'm going to literally roll through all my trades from today real quick. BTU. I mean, this is actually a really good example. We didn't trade it this first time. A little bit of previous resistance here from pre-market as well as the beginning of the day. Get a nice intense move, gets the pullback. What's it do after that pullback, right? It starts to stall and then goes lower, okay? Then makes another run. This is where we play it. Get in. We kind of chased it down because I remember it popped up and I was like, ah, crap, we kind of missed it. Still has plenty of room. Let's see if we can even at least get like half the move, which was down here. And we did, and I was being a little greedy, looking for more because we chased it and had smaller size. And so when it started to pop back up, we ended up taking it off. And I just took a break even because I didn't want it to do this on that candle, right? I didn't want it to start moving up and have to end up fighting this thing, so I just took it off break even and said whatever. We missed our opportunity here on this flush down here. However, look what it did here. Pull back, and then it went lower. Up here, pull back, and then it went higher. So it's a perfect example of the only constant you see is an intense move into a pullback, right? That's the high probability play. Intense move into a pullback. All right? BXRX. Same thing here. Let's see if we had any lines to go off of here. Not really. So this is probably what I was looking at. Probably wasn't what I wanted exactly. Plus this is a little bit smaller range. But again, intense move into a pullback. Bounces. What's it do from here? Went sideways, 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 and worked its way lower. Okay, whatever. That's that again. What it does after that is not up to us, and nor do we care. DPW. This one was I was a little annoyed at myself with. But I just didn't like how this previous high from the day before, it was kind of messing with my head a little bit, I remember. Because it came down. We started looking for the double top. It was actually, we were looking for it to fake out over that double top because you can see it went through and then came down. That's when we started this. Got a nice push back up. Got a good add. As it was coming down, as you can see, it based out here at that 559. I had an order sitting right above this 555. I think it was a 557, and it just wouldn't flush that little bit more. It just wouldn't do it. And then it started to get bought back up, and that was right where our average was, and I just ended up taking it off break even. And as you can see, it did try to go higher. And again, that pullback, it starts to bounce. What it does after that, I don't know what it's going to do. It continued lower, right? It continued lower, and then ended up going back up the high day because that's not, what it does after that high probability move, you don't know. All right. FEDU, previous resistance. Push up, hit the top, comes down. Scrolling a little bit, you can see these bars a little bit better. Get the pullback. We actually got out of this one probably a little bit early. Gave us half the move. I think I just threw the order out there and it just flushed right down to it. So I didn't even really get a chance to feel the bottom of the push down there. And bounces back up. What's it do after that? Could have went the high of day and went up to $5. Who knows? But instead, it bounced and rejected and went lower. FTFT. Again, so take a look at what we just looked at, right? FEDU. Big push. Big push down, right? The pullback. The constant, right? Big intense move. Pullback. Tries to bounce and then fades. FTFT. Get the big move, and this one was kind of annoying, right? It kind of grinded, didn't really give us a pullback, but in reality, if you look at it, these first three candles are kind of all the intense move. Get the pullback. What it does after that, I don't know. We tried to fight it a little bit, and we did fine with it, but again, what it does after that initial pullback, right? Once you get rid of those initial short sellers, the people selling for profit, once you get rid of all of those people that are there on that first move that are all kind of playing this thing with emotion, that's to me the high probability play. What happens after that is, do buyers want to step in or do sellers want to step in, right? That's what it really comes down to. And to me at that point, it's more of a 50-50 guessing game. And I would like to put my money in where I think 80% of the time the same thing's going to happen versus 50% of the time. GIVO, this was a good one. previous resistance, big intense move, pullback. What's it do after that? Tries to bounce and then kind of just consolidates and I guess kind of worked lower, kind of just went sideways. Definitely got out of this one. This one was kind of annoying. If you go watch the live trade, you can see I was a little confused. My data stopped on my end when it went up through 1550. So I was just like waiting for it to do something, and then all of a sudden everything like went through all at once, and it made that move up through 1550 and back down under 1550. Like I think it was low 1540s by the time like everything kind of went through at once. So I was a little like startled by that, I guess you could say. Like I was a little confused, and then so when it came down, as you can see, it made a bottom wick here, started to come back up. That was when we took it off, because again, the pullback, what it does after that initial pullback, I don't know. So a lot of people will probably ask too, well, how do you take advantage of when it continues? Well, scaling out is where that comes into play. But I would have scaled out of this one if we got the ad up there, but unfortunately we didn't, because this was a really good move. This is probably one of the more confident plays I had today, that I expected this to be a bigger winner, but unfortunately it just we got a little messed up with the how it played out. And then Lizzie was our last trade. So previous resistance, intense move, pullback, and then what's it do, right? Bounces and goes higher. So everyone always asks, you know, how do you know if it's going higher? How's it going? How do you know if it's going lower? You don't. You don't. But what you can do is find an edge, put yourself in a high probable situation for something that happens over and over again. Intensity stock watch scanners show me these intense moves all day, right? These nice pushes, these intense moves above previous resistance. If you're looking at the ultra scan, you can find ones that happen in the range of between low of day and high of day. You can find those too, just the regular i3 scan. I like to find ones that are going high of day. To me, they just work a little better. Things tend to try to draw back to those key areas. So the one constant you'll see in all of my trades: intense move, short entry, pull back, take profit, right? That's what I'm looking for. And if we get that, what it does after this, I really don't care unless I'm scaling out, right? Obviously, if I'm scaling out, I want it to go lower. But if I'm taking full position, I really don't care, right? It doesn't matter to me unless it wants to make another big move and I want to get back in it. But this one, the price action was weird. I just remember not liking it. I was actually happy because I remember this made a move like up here, and then I got in and it just like stalled, and it finally gave us the pullback. And it was kind of doing the same thing on the way up here. It was really weird price action, so I just didn't mess with it again. And as you can see, look at the 9. It caught up really quickly, so I wasn't in the mood to mess with any kind of a grinder. It was just it was a weird price action. But again, what it does after that pullback, the high probability play, the pullback, you don't know. Are the buyers going to step in, or are the sellers going to step in? Who knows? Nobody knows. Only the people that are actually trading it, I guess, know what they want it to do. But yeah, so that was our trade from today, and kind of a little bit more of a lesson and in-depth look of what I am looking for on every single trade. It's actually rather simple. The timing of it all, however, right? Timing is everything in the market. That's really the key to everything. So, alrighty. Oh, yeah. Brian did say HBI was on earnings, but, you know, hindsight's 20/20. I'm actually, where did that, I don't even, I think that was on Monday. Let's scroll back. Come on. Yeah. Yeah, we got caught in that nice little big move. I mean, I saw it making the move in pre-market, and I was like, it was such a good move out of the open. I was just like, man, that's gonna have a decent pullback. And if we scroll in, I mean, this is the move we were talking about. And I remember, I'm pretty sure I started this way early. Let's take a look. Let's pull it up. Am I clicking it? Let's refresh. Which, by the way, right, $50 goal a day, pretty close to it, 236.79. pretty much right at it. We'll go day by day just to see how we played out. But especially with that loss in there, that was a pretty good recovery day as well to come back. So we started this at 1826. It's earlier than I thought. We started this thing all the way down here. Close enough. So, interesting. But again, right, we're looking for intense move away from previous resistance, and we're looking for a pullback. Thought we felt the top there through 18. We were clearly wrong, right? Sometimes you're going to be early. That's the advantage of having the strategy of scaling into a position. Let's see, what do we do? 1880. Looks like we doubled up. Let's see, 1880 right there. So it looks like we might have hit this on the way back down. Maybe it went up through 19 and then started to come back down. So we thought that might have been the top. So that would put our average right around there. Somewhere right around there. And I think when it started to go higher, we wanted to split this too. Yep. So 1883 and then 1903. So we added. It'd be much easier to just look at the chart, wouldn't it? Let's do that. Just saw it. Where'd it go? There it is. So yeah. So 18. There's the first entry. Hit it, and then we probably hit it again, looking for size, right? But as you can see, look at the VWAP. The VWAP's actually above the 9 there, which is a little sketch. It just means that the average volume was up there, and obviously the 9 was going off of some of those pre-market numbers as well. But anyways, I mean, you just see no pullback whatsoever on this one. I was actually curious. Did we cut this and get back in, or let's see, 20. So we bought. So we actually only covered. I wonder if I meant to do that. Usually I would cover half, looking to add it back, but looks like we covered, and then maybe we thought it was a fake out breakout, so we added those shares back. Then we hit it a little bit heavier. Again, let me look at the chart. So we were definitely trying to recycle here, but in a weird way. I feel like, are we missing a green arrow somewhere? There's definitely 3 buys in there. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I bet those are at the same time. It just went through as 120. Yeah, okay. So that final, this was just 2 executions, but the same order. I'm a little confused why I only took 20 off there. I probably meant to take off 40 since we had 80. And then I was going to look to add those back if it ran to get a higher average. Because, again, if we go back and look at the chart, we're looking for the pullback. It just never gave it to us, right? The first real pullback off the move was this one. So we're looking for this move. However, again, this is the pullback. So what it does after this, is it going to bounce, go higher, and just grind higher? I don't know. Is it going to bounce, create a little bit of sloppy seconds, and then go lower? I don't know. It's so 50-50, right? After you finally get that first pullback, what it does after that, I don't know. But again, the constant is, if I could have stuck in there and really waited for that first pullback and tried to keep my average up, you know, I'm starting to learn that a little bit more, and I'm starting to be a little bit more brave. The only problem is when you start that early, started this thing all the way down here, it starts to get a little emotional, and it's hard, right? Waiting for the right entry, the right add, hitting it with more size, knowing that if this thing just, like, it started to look like it turned into a grinder, knowing that Brian said it was on earnings, all that stuff starts flowing through your head, right? And it's hard, you know, to manage the trade when you start getting emotional. Even though I think I managed it just fine. Apparently I just was taking weird orders, but ended up being a loss, right? Took the loss. And the biggest takeaway was, if we bring TraderSync back up, if I can click correctly, that was on the 6th, right? Or that was on the 9th. Okay. That was the first trade, of course. It's usually how it works. So if we go to the 9th, you'll see we had a nice comeback, right? Even with that FRSX trade, right? We had a good trade on EVOC, EVOK, brought us back some, but then we lost it all right back on FRSX, that first trade and the second trade, putting us right back down plus some where we were, right? So the first 5 trades of the day, we were 2 for 5 and down over, one goal, right? Or 1Q, whatever you want to call it. And from there on, look at the comeback, right? We have one more losing trade, which was just a small one on SNDL, which I'm pretty sure that would have worked out had we held on to it. But I feel like I remember that one just not cooperating and acting the way we wanted it to. But we had a nice comeback, right? Nice trade there on FRSX to make those up. OGI, nice trade on USWS, and then we just kind of chipped away. I know as it gets later in the day, I tend to use a smaller share size just because I'm not comfortable with the moves later in the day, because usually they're news-driven when they pop up a lot. And so, yeah, you'll see me taking smaller share size. But that might go... I actually tried to go a little bit bigger in the afternoon today because I realized I was going down to like 25% of my starting size. And I feel like those were just too small. I feel like I could be taking advantage even at half size. So, like, if you double all these numbers up here, we would have been at goal for the day. So it was something that I was taking into consideration. As you can see on the 8th, so we only made $25 on the 9th, only made $36 on Monday. So, and somehow we got almost to our goal for the week. So if we look at, actually that might not have been right. Hold on, because that might have been, I thought Monday was lower. No, it was. Okay. Let's get rid of Monday. So on Wednesday was our big day, right? We had one loser on SNDL, which was annoying. This was when we were dealing with the data issues again. We had those hanging orders. We've been dealing with those here and there throughout the week. Not really sure what's going on with that. But yeah, that was our one loser. I was actually really excited for that backside ad on this one, and I was ready to ride that thing down to low a day. I was like, I'm just going to get in a little bit smaller share size, and we're going to see how low this thing can go. But my order started hanging, and I was like, okay, just get me out of this trade. We ended up taking a loss, and then sure enough, it completely just dumped. But as you can see throughout the rest of the day, we just kind of chipped away and made some more. Nice trade on ARTL. Actually, let's take a look at that. There was a lot of good trades this week. Just how well I actually traded them. Like, was just getting good ads when I really felt convicted that I was right. Just some really good plays this week. I've been doing really well with my entries as well. There it is. So yeah, ARTL. Got in here, and then I wouldn't really consider this a pullback, and then it ripped up through $2. Got the ad. It decided to go higher. You could feel this thing was just done. Like, you could feel it hitting that ceiling. It was jiggling hard. Got a second ad. So basically this was a 1 and then a 2, right? So our average was actually nice up here over 2. So we got the nice dump, and then we took most of it off. And again, since we got those ads, right, I told you if we get ads, we're looking to scale out, and as you can see, we did, and we got that nice little flush down through VWAP and ended up taking that off. That was a feeler. I was probably hoping that we got 170, but since it was such a big flush, I started to feel the bottom, and I'm pretty sure if we go back and look at the chart later in the day, it actually bounced right there. But let's see if we can call myself a liar. ARTL. Let's see. Oh, I think that was it. You can call me a liar. Yeah. So we got the move down, went sideways, gave us that flush. Well, it did go higher. Okay. So because I was like, I remember that going higher, but it did go higher, but then it ultimately ended up making this little descending triangle and going lower. So, but again, after a pullback, you don't know what it's going to do. That's why you have leftovers to see what they do. And we got a nice little flush. We got the bottom of this candle. We were out at 180. So right there. Bounced all the way back up here to 192. So obviously is what it is, right? You would have had to wait an extra, 20-ish minutes to get all of this. So And then on top of that, you never know. You probably might have seen this, and if you were waiting for lower, this might have spooked you out. Who knows, right? I don't really wait that long. All right, let's check in here. The CMake send a 1099 for tax purposes? No, you have to do all that yourself. You have to go onto your account page, which I can put the link. Let me give you the link. I clicked the wrong thing. I clicked it again. All right, let's see. Copy. So if you go to that link that I just posted, you can log into your account there, and that's where you check your reports. You can get a printout of everything you need for your taxes in there. But what I do is I go to this guy at Investotech, and he can actually take all of those trades and turn it into the file that you need to file your taxes. So that could really help you out there. That's what I do. It makes it easy. All right. I didn't know you can remove your comment. What comment? Just got approved for CMake and Trade Zero. Don't know what to take. CMake if it's my affiliate code. Now, I mean, the difference between the two is, I guess, shorts. I think CMake is probably better. I mean, I know Trade Zero is known for their shorts, but you have to pay for all of them. So CMake has a lot of shares on shorts that are just easy to borrow. Obviously not the best list. It's no interactive brokers, but for what it is, I don't know. I would choose CMake, especially because they have DOS. I don't think Trade Zero has DOS. Actually, I'm pretty positive they don't have it. Later, Brian. Have a good dinner. Enjoy the 3-day weekend. I'm sure I'll talk to you at some point. How do I report my earnings to IRS if CMake as my broker? Oh, so that's okay. I exported Excel sheet for the year and gave it to my CPA. That stuff is over my pay grade. Yeah, that's basically what I do. But I go to that Investotech, and he does everything for you. It's actually a lot easier for your CPA. But if your CPA does it for you, then that's awesome. That's a lot to go through. IMGN earnings got me today. Yeah, IMGN, that was not a good one. I think it was funny because Brian actually had mentioned, or it was either Brian or David, that it was on earnings. That's what kind of kept me away from it. But again, another good example, right? Previous resistance flies through. You get that first pullback, right? Almost 50% of the move. What it does after that pullback, who knows? Is it going to bounce, double top, sloppy seconds, fake out, breakout, then go lower? I don't know. Is it going to go high of day, fake out like it's going to be a fake out, breakout, and then go higher? I don't know. That's what it did. What's the one constant? Intense move, pullback, right? That's the edge that I look for. 1 hour loss is basically what you risk. Yeah, it's your risk per trade. I mean, it could be per trade, it could be per day. R is relative to the person. It could be what you risk on a daily basis. It could be what you risk on a specific trade. It could be pretty much anything. I say same size, but look for a quarter of the move instead of half of the move, and that is just bonus money. Yeah, buddy. And I'm quicker to cut them if they start to just chill in a spot for a sec too long. Yep, same here. I'm the same way. Dropping in and out of live stream, drinking hot sake. Sake! I love sake. Freezing LA. What is it, like 50 degrees? Using 4 monitors to full YouTube effect. Watching pilot POV flying videos with a Sirius SR22T G6 Ren Baron channel. And precision motorcycle maneuvers for tomorrow's Yamaha Striker Ride practice session. Not really focused on trading at the moment, but can't pull myself away from Tim's handsome face. That one's for you. I cut quick afternoon. During the morning, I'm good to let them work until the chart tells me to cut. Yeah, I mean, to me, I haven't really seen too much of a difference between the morning and the afternoon. I mean, they all kind of do this. I mean, even later in the afternoon on this one, they pulled all the way back and then gave you another intense move. I mean, it's not like I like it, but gives you the pullback. What's it do, right? It goes back to high day again and then kind of does all this crap. So to me, I find them to be kind of all the same. Let's finish the week here on TraderSync. Let's get rid of Thursday or Wednesday. Wait, do I have to go that way? There we go. So got right over our goal on Thursday over the course of 8 trades. Most of it coming from these two, SOS and QTT. Again, as you can see, the morning I'm a little bit more confident with the trades, and then as the day goes on, I just try to chip away. And then today, got 40-61. I woke up feeling really good today, like I really wanted to trade, and I don't know, it was just a really slow day. But it adds up. I mean, look at this: 850, 13, 8, break even, 650, 375, 36. Right? Like none of these are big trades. It's 7 trades, but it still equals $40, right? My goal is 50. I got 80% of the way there, just chipping away. And none of these were really good trades. This FTFT, if we would have took it when we were at the bottom that one time, we would have been over goal, right? That would have been, I think we would have been at like $22, $23. I'd have to go back and watch the trade live again, but I'm pretty sure we were realized like not. I think it was like maybe even more. It was like 9 something, and we were unrealized like 12, something like that. So 21. But obviously that would have put us over goal. Obviously didn't know that in the time, and this trade could have been so big. This could have been a really nice one. This could have been over half our goal. But unfortunately, it just didn't want to give us that pullback. And so we followed our plan and still ended up green on it, which is good, right? Even though we had to fight it a little bit. So I was actually really happy with how we played that to come out green. That's a trade in the past. If we just a big difference, maybe I'll actually go look for one of my old charts off of one of the old streams, because the old me would have probably taken this short, never would have had this ad, right? We would have just been looking for the pullback. It would have came up, would have gotten this ad, most likely probably wouldn't have taken anything here. We probably would have been looking for this to come back down lower, and then on top of that, this would have just went, this, as you can see, it tried it again. Maybe on this one, we probably would have took some off when we realized it wasn't doing what we wanted it to do, or at least took some off. I don't know. But then we wouldn't have done this and then we definitely wouldn't have done that, and we would have ended up cutting it probably at high of day as well, right? We would have waited for high of day because that was the old strat. It was just cut it at high of day. So the fact that we tried to add because we were convinced that this was gonna be the push down, that's, to me, progress, right? Even though we were wrong, hitting that button, looking to add size into what we thought was going to be a winner is progress. We wouldn't do that before. Cutting half the position to recycle those shares after we realized that we were wrong is huge progress. Understanding in the moment as it's happening that you're wrong and being able to identify that and to better your position by taking some off there. I've done this probably like 5 times or so in the last couple of weeks, and it's worked every time. And it's such a viable strategy because it takes risk off. It allows you to see what it's going to do when it breaks this area, and then you can either add back at a higher price, bring your average up, looking to make that back plus some, or it can be a fake out and you can look to add those back if you want to try to get the initial move that you thought was going to happen, right? Because if it's going to be a fake out, the odds are it's going to go lower than where you added them in the first place. So you can either add them back where you got them the first time, or you can try to get them where you cut them. It is what it is. But one way or another, you're basically, by recycling shares like that, you're looking to just add those shares back at a better price. Like that's what you're looking for, or you're looking to see what it's doing. But at the same time, I'm not taking that full risk of both these first entries all the way up and then looking to add again. I'm, recycling the shares. So that's basically what it means. So just going through this trade, I've come so, like, obviously this doesn't look like a great trade, but to me, knowing how I was playing these and where I've come from, even, like 4, 5, 6 months ago, this is huge progress. Like, if I just pulled this chart up and showed this to somebody, they'd be like, what the hell am I looking at? Right? Like, they wouldn't really understand. But if you go back and watch this trade live, just the way I managed it and the way that I was playing the ticker as it was happening in real time, that I was so impressed with myself, right? I went back and watched it already, and I was actually impressed with myself, just how well I handled everything, how focused I was. I understand what was going on. I had a plan every step of the way. I knew exactly what I was going to do in each situation, and I did it. And it was just very comforting to see that progress. And it's just, I don't know, I'm not trying to toot my own horn. It's just, I see the progress, and it's starting to show. And let's go back to where we started doing that, right? It was January 6th is when we really started to kind of hammer down, and we're doing well since then. And it's crazy. I mean, my win percentage, you saw this week, it was, what was it for this week? It was like 86%, which is what I thought I would be closer to. But in fact, I've been at 75-ish% and 76%, and I'm doing just fine, right? We have some of those bigger losses in there that just never worked out. Like if we scroll down, let's actually just sort it by loss. It'll be much easier. Let's do it this way. So you can see, I mean, on this day, this was February 5th. Actually, you know what? We'll check after that. But on each of these days where we took some of these bigger losses, I mean, let's just let's take a look at the chart. WHLR. I need to start putting the charts in here so when I delete them. But I mean, they do such a good job with these now. But again, I feel like something was. Oh, that's right. This is the one we ran out of shares. So we got short. It went up and it started to halt. And I actually tried to add, but I couldn't. I ran out of shorts. And so it tried to halt again after I tried to add. And when it tried to halt again, I was like, well, I can't play this anymore. I just need to cut it. And so I did. And as you can see, that sucked. But it is what it is, right? I think let me go back. What was that, on the 5th? February 5th? Let's get rid of that. Click here and go here. So we still ended up with a red day, but we fought back. Will it do it by? Yeah, let's do it by open time. There we go. So we actually, I remember that, freaking playing around with Zoom too. And then WHLR came along, kind of ruined our day. Lost quite a bit on that one, but then the rest of the day we fought back, right? Decent trade on BRN. Decent trade on AMBO, decent trade on Axis, decent trade on OCGN, 3 of them actually, and just chipping away. I remember after that big loss, we took those 2 longs when BSQR and AME. This BSQR trade, oh my, that was so. I just bought some small shares looking for this thing to take off, and all I had to do was buy that dip a little bit better by 5 cents. It stopped me out by 4 cents. Literally came down, touched my break even. It started to go up, and I said, okay, it went pretty far. Didn't get up to high of day like I wanted it to. I was expecting it to make this move, and I was going to try to ride it out as long as I could. But when it made this move up here and failed, I'm like, okay, it's making a lower high. If it comes back down, touches my, if it comes down this far, it's probably going to go lower and just be done for the day. And especially because my entry was below this previous resistance. I remember that being part of it too. I was like, I got a good entry. If it comes down and gets to my break even, so be it, I'll just take it off. Comes down, literally taps me out, goes down like an extra 3 cents after that, and then rips. It does exactly what I was looking for it to do. That was so painful. Like, I had a good idea. It was a washout long type play, intense move down, looking for the bounce back up. But I was really hoping that it would kind of consolidate and then make this move. But instead, it tried to come back down and then made the move. So that was a little frustrating, because that actually would have brought me to green on the day, even with the really small share size. So yeah, it was 20 shares, but we were in at. What did this get up to? Even just at the top of this move, we'll just say $7, even though it went over $7. And we were in at 383. So just with 20 shares, that was $60, right? We ended up down on the day $41. So a little frustrating. And I don't know. I'm pretty sure we still play most of these stocks. Probably stop after this axis, because the only reason I kept trading probably was because I was red. But this was a Friday, wasn't it? Yeah. I remember saying I can't believe we actually were getting all these opportunities in the afternoon on Friday, because I thought once I took that loss on WHLR, that was at a little after 10 o'clock. That's usually when things kind of start to slow down, around 10:30, 11 o'clock. But, I mean, look at these plays: 11, 11, 16, 11, 19, 12, 37, 130, or 112, 130, 148, 249, 250. Like, they were just popping up, like, all day. So I just sat here. As you can see, we had 19 trades, tons of tickets that day. You can see the executions. It's a lot. I'm not going to sit here and do the math, but, I mean, 7, 6, what's that? 13, 18, 22, 25, 28, 31, 34, and then a bunch of twos. It's probably like another 20. So like over 50, close to 60 executions that day. So it was a crazy day. But again, we're finding some consistency, right? We're doing something right. I'm starting to feel it. It feels good, and we're just gonna keep at it. That's all we can do, right? Just keep at it. Jeff, what's up, man? Lance making his 2-minute appearance. Akmal, how you doing, man? Why do I lower my share size in the afternoon? Just because I'm not as confident in those news type plays. The one, if you notice something, like, let's pull up the chart here. For me, IFGM might not be a perfect example here. But I don't remember. Let's see if any of them had it today. So, like, I mean, even BTU, for instance, see how the volume's kind of stagnant, and then boom, right? Just volume out of nowhere. These always make me a little bit weary, because when you get these volume plays out of nowhere, it could be news, it could be whatever, it could be what is the news? Is it a buyout at $5? Who knows? Like, nobody know. I don't look at the news. So when you get volume out of nowhere, it's usually for a reason. So trying to figure out that. I mean, again, look at this one. It's just kind of stagnant, and then boom, like out of nowhere. So it's really my job to, I mean, you're still, even if it's really good news, you're still going to get the intense move with some kind of a pullback. But during that pullback, people are going to buy that pullback, obviously, if it's really good news, and it's probably going to go higher. But you're still going to get those pullbacks, even if they're within like the same candle. They do happen. I'm just more weary about it. I don't know if I need to kind of adjust that a little bit, be a little bit more confident in ones that spike like this. But I've had a bad experience in the past, LYV, and a few others as well. They weren't as bad as LYV, but they were the same type of plays. They were afternoon plays, and I would start to scale into it, and they would just kind of consolidate up at the top of the move and give no pullback. And because it was either, just really good news, it was some kind of a buyout, whatever the case was, I just feel like when you see these big volume spikes out of nowhere, it could obviously be a pump from a room. It could be a stock that's now in price discovery mode from good news. It could be a buyout. It could be a multitude of things, right? But it's still your job to kind of feel that out. However, in the morning, when you get moves, right, usually it kind of ramps up to it. I mean, FTFT isn't the best example, but I mean, you can kind of see like it started to ramp. I mean, this isn't the best example. Let's see. DPW is not really the best example either. Of course, I'm not going to have any really good examples today, am I? Givo maybe? No, I know Givo was out of nowhere. Well, apparently I don't have any good examples today. But usually in the morning, it'll be like constant volume, and then it'll start to ramp, and then boom, right? That's when you get that FOMO squeeze. And that's usually what I'm looking for. But today, it obviously kind of making me look like an idiot saying that that's what I look for, and there's not even one of them. Pretty sure they were all kind of those volume pops. But I'm pretty sure you guys, if you guys trade, you know what I'm talking about. Like you get the little like ramp up. I mean, like even like this one. You see how the volume starts to ramp up, and then you get the volume in, like, and then that's when you get the move. Like that's what I'm talking about. But if you're just looking at something, I mean, like Givo, where it's just kind of steady volume all the way down here all day, and then out of nowhere it's just like, you know, something's a little weird about that, right? So your mind immediately says, you know, what's going on with that? One thing I do during the weekend, not for everyone, but I watch the screen recordings of my trading day and visualize using my hotkeys, hot buttons. I use light speed, so when trading live. Yeah, I know people that actually do that as well. I don't visualize anything because I see the hot buttons, so I don't really have to do that. But I do go back and watch my trades quite often. When average percent was back in April? Let's see. I mean, it could have been a good month. It could have been when I was doing something good. I don't know. Yeah, there you go. 57%. Made $50 the month of April. I feel like there was one big loss in there. Let's see, 427. Oh, yeah, that was that day that CNX absolutely destroyed me. I think this was back when I was trading, like I was trying to do single entry trades. Or maybe I just tried to fight this one. I don't know. But, I mean, obviously that was a... Let's see if I can just do it this way. Wrong way. It's interesting. I must have lost a decent amount on the way up or something, and then I was looking to make much more because that wouldn't really make sense why I would short all the way up here and not take anything off there and then let it go all the way back against me. I mean, oh, is it descending triangle? But still, I don't know. I wonder if it'll let me zoom in here. It's not letting me. It's like the chart's loading. Let's see. Yeah, so that's what it looks like. I was just taking a lot of paper cuts. I think this was back when I was trying to do that like single entry with a max loss, because it would make sense why they're all around the same amount on the losses. Like they're all 20, 20, 20. So it was my max loss was probably $20, and I just kept hitting it over and over again. So that was a pretty bad day. It looks like that was the only trades I took that day too. Jeez, that was probably a tough day mentally. That's the other thing that I've improved on, right? Back in the day, I was trading like 1-2 tickers a day. And, you know, if that one ticker got me, speaking of LYV, oh, crapper. I bet if I click this, watch, you'll see. Watch this. Yeah, look at that. I've traded a couple of times since that one loss, but, I mean, here, let's see if it actually has the chart. I mean, look at this. This is crazy. I just remember trying to scale into this thing like an idiot. Yeah, look at this. I remember this chart very well. This was, again, look, all day. Like if you look at the volume, no volume, no volume, no volume, no volume, and then boom, right? This was at 1:45 in the afternoon, 1:50. And it comes up, gives a pullback, and starts to go back up. And I'm like, okay, I remember saying sloppy seconds because I remember describing this to other people when they asked about it. So obviously missed that first move, gave a big pullback, and again, it's crazy looking back at it. I haven't looked at this, obviously recently, but what's it gonna do after that first pullback, right? The only constant is big intense move, pullback, right? What it does after that, I don't know. But yet, look at me, back in the day. This was December of 2019. I started a position on the backside, and why did I not cut it at high of day? That makes zero sense, right? Why? That doesn't make any sense at all. But then you look, just comes up, doesn't really pull back at all. I mean, it pulls back to that previous high that it set, which makes sense, right? Just started it way early, and I just fought it. I mean, look how much I fought this thing. It was MMA Tim, as Thomas would say. And yeah, that was a pretty bad one. Just started going sideways. I remember I sat here all day just looking at my unrealized and just like, this isn't pulling back, is it? it just wouldn't. It kept coming to this like area here at 69, and I started to think it was a buyout, but I'm actually pretty sure it was not a buyout. I mean, obviously it wasn't because we've traded it since then, but it's actually higher now. Jeez, let's pull up the daily. So let's see, December 2019. We got to go back quite a bit. Say obviously the pandemic kind of ruined it, but yeah. So it was this day here, I'm assuming. It went all the way up, and then it looks like the next day came all, or maybe it was here. So maybe it was even coming off the bottom. Man, what was I doing? I clearly didn't look at the daily, that's for sure. Yeah, it was this day right here, 1219. But it ended up going higher. So again, good thing I didn't really look to hold it as well. Even that next day went higher and never came back below it. Went higher, and it took all the way until over here. And then obviously the pandemic happened, so just crazy stuff. Look at that move it made today. Look at that grinder. Kind of like training muscle motor. Yeah, no, I agree with the visualizing yourself trade. X baseball playing. Yeah, I get it. See ball, hit ball. Very true. It's all about it's a lot of routine. There's a lot of routine. Yeah, trade survival. Yeah, so true. Time to scale up one digit. So I'm gonna tell you guys something. I'm gonna give you guys an idea. So I should have an example from today to be able to use because I did scale in. Yeah, we'll use DPW. That's a good example. Let me just catch up real quick. Nice background. You trading from a dungeon. Wave got you chained up. Yeah, MMA Tim's gone. I don't fight things anymore. I mean, you guys see it all the time. I mean, FTT should be a perfect example that I'm not that way anymore, right? At no chance that I give this thing a chance to make me want to fight it. If it wanted to go higher, okay, well, you can go higher with only half my shares. That's fine. Once I realize you're not doing it, I'm going to try to get back at you. And if this would have like stopped here and went back up the high of day, that would have been a full cut, right? That's a full cut for me. But I obviously wouldn't have got my ad here if I didn't think this was coming down. It did. Got the nice take profits there. And could have been all out for a really nice win there. It would have been a half goal win if we would have took all of it there. Came back up. Again, would have been a cut at high of day. Realized it wasn't getting over this A10 area. It was struggling. Jumped in, added some more shares back in. Took those off, looking for the rest. Those that same core, I guess you could say, core leftovers. We were looking for those to fall over. It tried one last time. We were obviously looking for down in here and just couldn't get it. And so we realized that, in typical pattern, it tried to make sloppy seconds, tried to come down again. If it's going to come back up and break that key area that got it stalled at the for the sloppy seconds, the lower high, then obviously this thing's probably going to go up at least the high of day. And then if it breaks high of day, it's probably going to squeeze a little bit. And I was fully ready to get back in this over 850, right? Because I always say one of the best things you can do, right? If you're going to look to trade something again, would you have taken that trade if you never took the trade before that? So if none of these arrows were on the chart, if this thing shot up to where it did and it was a fake out breakout, I mean, some people have a fake out breakout strategy, right? They're looking for things like this where it sets a high, kind of consolidates, tries to go higher, and then fakes out, right? That's a very good play. Me and David have been watching these for a while now, and it's a very high probability play. And I almost thought about doing it, but in the moment, I felt like I was being emotional about it. So I caught myself, and I was like, okay, I don't want to jump back in this just because I was already in the trade. However, I told myself when I got out, I said, if this squeezes up through 850, now, would I have taken a trade if it squeezed up through 850 if I had never taken these trades? And the answer is totally yes, right? It had a previous high. It extended away from that previous high. And I mean, honestly, it was a pretty good extension already. So to me, there would still be more room. Anytime it makes like a second or third run without any like real pullback, even though this was a decent pullback, the odds are it's going to struggle the more attempts it makes to go higher, right? Because you're going to keep running out of buyers because people are going to be like, well, I wanted this thing cheaper. I don't want to pay for it all the way up there. So eventually you're going to, get an even better price. But that was what I was waiting for. I was fully ready to get back into it, but unfortunately it just didn't happen. BTU is not the one. TPW. You're so improved, Mr. T. Time to size up. With time, guys. I'm going to talk about that right now. So the way I'm going to scale up when I do is I'm not going to scale up share size, but I'm going to try something. And you're going to be like, dude, you're consistent. Why are you going to change something? Well, hear me out. And you can let me know what you think, because I've been pondering this idea for quite some time. Even I've pondered this for a long time as a possible way of just trading this way. And I've always wondered, or the whole reason I've never done it is because I've just been too chicken shit to do it, to be completely honest. Sorry, need a drink. So, no, it's not Tinker Tim. It's not Tinker Tim, I promise. So, we'd be trading the exact same way. But if we were to scale, right? Let's say we're using 100, let's use the 112 as an example. Say we have these two entries, right? And then we say this thing kept running and we got a third entry. 112, 100 shares, let's just say 100 shares, 100 shares, 200 shares, right? That's going to put our average pretty much right at, so 100, 100, that's going to put our average there. Then you hit it for 200 up here, that's going to put it right there pretty much, right? So obviously the candles would be up there, but anyways. Now, so if the price got up here, this is where our average would be with a 100, 100, 200. That's a 112. Instead of changing share size, the thought is that would be 400 total shares. If we doubled our share size, if we did do share size, let's say we did 200, 200, and then 400, that would be 800, right? So it would be 200, 200, 400, yep, 800. What if we did 100, right? So we're keeping the same. Now, let me bring up FTFT just for a second because I want to give you an example of when something might still happen. If we get this move where I'm looking to add because I think I'm right, I'm still going to do the 1-1, right? If it's coming down and I think I'm right and I'm just looking to add size, looking for the bigger winner, because I only got a starter position, I'm just going to 1-1. Just to, like, that's the thought process. This is me developing the strategy. I'm not really changing much, right? Because I'm already doing that. But the second entry, instead of a 1 and a 1, it becomes a 2, right? So now it's a 1, 2, which would be 300 shares instead of 400 shares. But what that's doing is instead of our average now going from here to here, it will now go to here. Pretty big difference, right? We're cutting that extra 50% in half, right? We're going up 75% of the way instead of 50%. And then if we go up even higher, so our new average, if this was a 100, 200, our average would now be here, right? Instead of here. And then so we'll get rid of this one. And then if we hit this for 400 up here, our average is now not here, but it is now here, like somewhere up in here. And we still 100, 200, 400, it's 700 shares. So it's very comparable to this, to sizing up. But at the same time, we are now putting ourselves in a situation where we have brought our average way up, right? Way further than we would have before. I mean, that's a big difference when you're talking about having the bigger share size, right? Previous average would have been somewhere around here, and our new average is up here, right? It's 75% instead of 50%. It's a big deal, especially when it starts to come back. You know, obviously when it starts to come back down, you're closer to the top at all times. And I don't know, it's definitely what I've been thinking of, and I really think it's a good idea. And it's something I think I'm definitely going to try when I go to scale up. So instead of scaling up with initial share size and just basically doubling everything, I'm going to try that. So I'm still going to up my goal for the day, double, but I'm going to attempt to do it the way that I said. And this is something I've always wanted to do in the past, but I was just too chicken shit because I was so bad at trades like LYV. Can you imagine if I just kept doubling my shares up on LYV? I would have got too heavy way too fast. But what do you notice? Let's scroll out so I don't have to. What do you notice now when we scroll through all of my trades? BTU. Let me do it this way. It'd be much easier to double click these. BXRX. DPW. FEDU. FTFT. GIVO. Lizzie. Like they all, my entries. It's what I'm getting as my entries. My entries are getting really good to where I almost never need a third entry. But even if I did, now I would be much more inclined to hit it because I know that I'm well within my risk. I'm well within my risk and I can still hit it up there, right? And I would be much more confident because of how well I've been timing my entries. It's a big confidence thing. It really is. So why wouldn't you take a 20 trade sample size and try it out with the share size you have now? I can. I haven't, like I said, I'm not there yet. I want to keep doing what I'm doing. I don't want to tinker with anything. What I'm doing is working. I want to perfect it. I'm just talking, like, the thought of scaling up has obviously been there. I just think that if I can, where I'm at, if I can start doing what I just described, 1, 2, 4 instead of 1, 1, 2, if I can do it that way and then scale up doing that, imagine how much better your average would be on trades that you scale into. It would be amazing. It would be so much better. So if you can get to the point, like 1, 1, 2 is a lot easier to do, right? Because you get in with an entry and then you use that same entry size a little bit higher, and it's just mentally easier. But if you're doing 1 and then a 2, but in your head you're like, well, what if I'm early? Now I'm going to be, getting heavy, maybe getting too heavy too quick. Then it is what it is. But that's what I'm saying. Starting at the ground level, if you start implementing that now, when the size is still what it is, then it can really be easy to kind of go from there. So it's not changing the strategy like at all. All the entries are going to look the exact same. It's just the amount of share size that you're getting at each level is going to be a little bit different. But in return, you're getting a much better average. So that's kind of the thought process behind it. I'm doing it already. That's why I'm shitting like an elephant. I love when you say that. That's so funny. That's how I scale in roughly. I use a Fibonacci retrace extension tool, but highly customize it to my personal specs. You and Devin would get along. Ever since I showed him those fibs, man, he's obsessed with them. But you'll do better because you are better at paper cuts. Yeah. But do you eat like a bird? What are you talking about? Brad, what's up, man? Yeah. Well, Thomas, like I said, I've been getting a lot better at if I do top it, like adding on the way down. So it's a little bit easier for me to do it that way. I think GDT is long gone, Sammy, but what's up, man? Do you know anything about wire transfers to CMEG from Bank of America? Do you know anybody that had problems? Yeah, I heard that. I don't know if it was just Bank of America. I thought it was a different bank. I didn't think it was Bank of America because that was who I used when I was transferring to them and back. But I think there was like one or two banks that had some issues. But if you contact CMEG, they'll show you like other routes to go to get your money to them. I thought that was only something that happened for like a couple weeks. I thought the restriction that those banks put on, they had taken back down. I mean, obviously don't quote me on that, but yeah, I heard they had like put some kind of restriction at some point. I don't know why, but what do I think about SNDL? I'm going to assume it's going to go back to where it came from, if I had to guess, which is under $1. Obviously, that's for entertainment purposes only. But if I had to guess for myself, I'd say that thing's probably headed back down. How long it takes, whether it bounces back up to 3 before it does, but I think over time you'll see this thing head back down towards $1. Average position cost at the specific level is hard to explain in chat post, but visually is very clear and concise. Scale in risk example, I go 1 to 3, 1 to 4, 1 to 10, etc. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I know what you're talking about. You can just draw the fib lines and kind of go off of that. I know that's what Devin uses the fibs for his take profits more so than entries. My account grew this week, but I'm frustrated with myself. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I've had green days where I'm very frustrated with myself. You can definitely be green and not trade well. All our price levels and incremental average costs are immediately visualized on the chart via basic customization of fib retrace extension tool that I use. Nice. Hey, to each their own, man. That's the beauty of this. Thousands of strategies. I can't resist from taking sub A+ setups. Yeah, that's another thing I've gotten really good at, is not falling into the FOMO. It's really crazy. Like if I go back and watch some of my videos from just when I first started, I'm literally a different person, a different trader. I'm not a different person, but I'm a different trader. Well, and I appreciate that, man. You said I did really good this week. Thank you. I think I did really good this week too. It was a good confidence booster week. Like finally got some okay pullbacks. Finally started off like Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I think without like losses to come back from. that was nice. Better? What is better? Do you think ISW scanner is worth it? Rue, I'm going to tell you right now, if there's one thing I get excited about, it's the scanners. Without the Intensity Stockwatch scanners, I wouldn't be able to trade every day. Literally every trade on my channel that you see me take comes right off the scanner. I do not take any trades that are not off the scanner. It doesn't happen. There will be times like Devin and Lance sometimes will they'll have a chart up and they'll be like, oh, this thing's running. Vesh, this is all you. Obviously, they call me Vesh because my last name it's short for my last name. And, well, Devin calls me that. I think everybody else just calls me Tim. But he'll be like, dude, Vesh, this is totally you. And I pull it up and I'm like, yeah, it's not on my scanner. Like, I wonder why it's not on my scanner. And it'll be like either volume. It'll be something. There's a reason that it's not on there. And because it's not on there, I don't trade it. And sometimes it would have worked, sometimes it wouldn't. That's not the point. The point is, I rely so much on the scanners that it's amazing. I can't trade without it. I'll just put it that way. So to answer your question, yes, 100%. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people in here, Thomas uses them, Shin use them. I'm pretty sure pretty much most of the people in here do use them. So there's a reason we do. Yep, pay to win. That's true. Would you, if you needed to buy a hammer to put together a treehouse, I'll just use a treehouse as an example, would you rather use your hand that is free, or would you rather pay for the tool for the job to make it much easier? It's just like everything. It's a pay to play industry for sure. Finding the right tools is part of the deal. What does the scanner cost per month? With the discounts, I could tell you exactly. You'd think I'd know this off the top of my head. I mean, I'm pretty sure I do know it, but I don't want to mislead. Let's see. Don't want to tell you the wrong information just by chance. So if you go to my link down in the description, this is what will pop up. This is a video, by the way. It's one I made a while ago. I need to update it. But it
What's up, traders? Today we're going to be talking more about the ISW scan. Man, they are really loud.
So I go through like all the scans, and then if you go all the way to the end, there's actually a video that I made, just kind of like the highlights of back when I was using it then. Quality a little bit better. But basically, I'm just showing that this is how I trade every day. Like, I see it alert on the scanner, I pull it up, I go short, I look for the cover, and I mean, I was doing the same thing I'm doing back then. I just didn't have a lot of the knowledge that was needed to make it work as well as I am now. I would, like, sometimes I would get in the tickers and I wouldn't understand, like here you're just seeing the highlights, right? A lot of people on YouTube can show you this, but if you go back, I've posted literally every trade I've ever taken on this channel, that you can see they don't always work like that, and how to manage the ones that don't work as easy as these highlights. They're the one that's what becomes a trader. I always say, how you win is not what defined you as a trader. How you lose is what defined you as a trader. And obviously never let one trade define you, right? So it's always about risk management and consistency. Those are the two things I've preached literally since the beginning, because I knew that those were the two most important things. Risk management and consistency are the two most important things. But I mean, obviously you can go watch this. Oops. You can go watch this on your own time. So it looks like the three versions, the Elite, which is the lowest with the discount, would be $96 a month. The Platinum is $160 a month, and the Team package is, it says save $300 on 6 months access. So I don't know. I thought he had the price in here, but I don't know if he changed it or not. So I'd have to ask Brian if you're interested in the team. Speaking of the team, why don't we start the old giveaway for the team package? Every week, if you're here, you have a chance, if you haven't already won, to get a week of the team package. So why don't that be a good segue into that? Let me pull up my wheel. Let's see. Makes life so easy, no wasting time looking for a bunch of charts. And that was something I completely left out. One of the biggest things about the scanners is back in the day before I had Intensity Stockwatch scanners, I was one of those guys that would stay up until 11 o'clock at night, wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I would be studying charts and looking for plays. And I can't tell you how many days that bell would ring and I'm like, I got my 5 to 10 charts. They're ready to go. I can't wait until they do exactly what I want them to do. They're going to go right to these lines that I drew right off the daily. I am so excited to make these trades. They're going to do a little like dip right to it and it's going to take off. I'm going to get it right as the 9 crosses the 20. It's going to extend right through my Bollinger Bands. I'm going to hit that fib extension to a T and then it's going to crash. I'm going to hit that sloppy seconds on the way down right as it has the death candle of doom, and then it's going to, on the the 200 on the daily is going to pop up. It's going to bounce right off of that thing. It's going to go right into my alligator indicators that are going to come down into my relative strength indicator, and then as the 50 crosses the 100, it's going to bounce right off of that, and then it's going to come back down as the 20's coming through the 100, and I'm just going to have the perfect setup. And guess what? That shit never happened. That was like the dumbest, stupid time of my trading career, was trying all these stupid indicators, and it was just one of the indicators is going to be right. You see these people on YouTube, the Bollinger Bands, the 9 crossing the 20, the VWAP, the death candle, the dojis, the bull flags, they're all going to be right at some point. And guess what? Go watch them. If they posted trades every single day and they showed it working every single time, that would be different, right? That's what I'm doing. I am showing you that what I do every day is what I do every day. It's not a one-off video where I talk about bull flags and I go handpick 3 or 4 charts and show you that they work. Because they might have only worked that 4 times out of 100. But you don't know that because they just handpicked them. That one of the things is the scanner, back to the Intensity Stockwatch scanner. I don't have to do any of that. I literally, when I sit down and go live in the morning at like 9:10, 9:15, that's when I'm sitting down at my computer. That's when I'm pulling everything up. That's when all this is happening. I don't do any research the night before. I spend time with my family. I spend time doing what I want to do, whether it's playing games, spending time with the family, whatever it is. I do things that I want to do. If I have to pay for something that saves me 3 hours at night and 3 hours in the morning of doing all this other crap, you're damn right I'm going to do it. Time is money, especially when you have 2 young kids and, a wife that's a little needy, and, paying for tools that make life better, make quality of life better. That's what it's all about. So anyways, free week of Team ISW on the line. If you want in, type 27 into the chat. Obviously can't be a previous winner. So if you won before, sorry. We're going to do the Wheel of Awesomeness right after this giveaway. And yeah, all you need to do is type 27 into the chat. You'll have all it is. That's it. It's free. Week of Team ISW. I think we've done the math on it before. It's like worth like $70. But being in the room with me, David, Brian, just seeing how it all works, getting all the scanners for free for a week, just getting to pick our brains, it's worth way more than that. But the monetary value obviously is still up there. So Bellman, Rue, LA to BKK. Always reminds me of The Hangover for some reason. What are a couple things that make something you pull off the scanners not tradable? Does Elite and Ultra i3 scan have Ultra i3 scan? No, it does not. You have to be part of the team to get the Ultra i3 scan. Yeah, Canadian. Yeah, it would have to transfer to Canadian. That is correct. It would be a little bit more for you. Kevin, what's up, man? Sorry, I was kind of reading backwards there. So as we'll do the giveaway here in about we'll do 1027 because then I'll do the Wheel of Awesomeness as well. So let's go to, what was that? I wonder what that trade was that I missed today. I was so mad. I know Party was one of them. I think this was the one. I was so mad that I missed this trade. It was such a nice move. I think I was like posting my previous trades in the ISW chat or something. And this thing just made a huge move right through the $0.50 and just crashed. That would have been such a good one. I remember being so mad that I missed that one. So if I pull something up off the scanner, I mean, you guys know at this point, I look for extension away from previous resistance. So in this case, it's yesterday's high. I look for volume, has to have volume, and it has to be moving fast, right? Fast, fast, fast. What I don't like is, like, if I pulled up the daily, if a long is supported, which this one kind of is, I would have been like, I don't really like the daily, but the move was pretty irresistible on this one. Obviously, earnings is one I like to be wary about. Low float is something I'm wary about. Not a lot of shares to borrow is another thing I'm worried about. Just looking left is a big thing for me. Like, this is what I see, but I have the 60-minute and the daily up as well next to my 2-minute. So I'm always looking at the bigger picture as well. I don't like moves like you'll see on the regular i3 scan. Like, when this move started, you have all this to the left. I am not interested in any of this. I do not like getting short down in here. A lot of people see these key areas as resistance areas, right? That it could bounce off of, and like the double top. But in my experience, on a move that's happening really intensely, it tends to use those areas as breakout areas, not resistance, right? So it comes up to it and it might try to use it as resistance, but if there is some there, if it goes through it, usually there's a big pop through it, right? So I'd be more interested in like the next area. So I would never be keen to that first area, but they usually, when you look left, it's just they're everywhere, right? There's possible areas everywhere. That's why I don't like them. Because then at that point, what's your follow through there? Like, if you get short here, what are you looking for? Like, are you looking for the move back down to there? Are you looking for the move back to low a day? Like, what, to me, it just doesn't make as much sense. But if you get a move through a previous high that is so obvious and it's just an open space, right? It's going to get extended. People realize that this is extended. They're going to stop buying because they realize it's too extended, and they're going to start selling. Well, at the same time, those people are selling, people are going to start shorting. And then that's when you usually get these flushes, right? So I always say longs take longer, shorts take the elevator, because people just pile in. You got people taking profit and you got people short selling and you have people not buying. Where you get the big moves down, it's a little bit different because people start to emotionally think like, well, what's wrong with the stock? Why is it going down? When the stock's going up, people tend to FOMO into it because they don't want to miss the move. It's usually not the way on the other side. You don't have people buying and also covering shorts at the same time. Usually it's just like people covering shorts and not buying because they're still holding the bag from up here and just not selling anymore, right? And then usually the panic selling is what gets the move down there in the first place. So it's like you have two forms of getting the move back up here, where up here you have three, right? You have people that stop buying because they realize it's extended, people taking profits as well as short sellers. Down here, you don't really get a lot of people selling once the move has already happened, or buying, I mean, because they're like, what's going on with the, I want to see some confirmation before I get back into the stock, which is why it takes longer. And you get shorts covering. Those are really the only two. You don't really have the people that stop selling, because when it goes down like that and people are long, they start to panic sell. So people are still selling. They're still putting that selling pressure in. So in reality, it's almost like 1.5. It's almost like three things that bring the price down up here, and there's really only like 1.5 that bring it back up here. So that's why longs typically take longer. They still work. They just take a little bit longer. Now, if you're buying the dip like Lance, buying like literally washouts, he's looking for that quick pop back up. Those are a little bit different. That's a little bit more advanced. 9 to 5 killing me on that one. Party. Oh, dude, this one was nice. I was a little sad about this one. Alpine, what's up, man? How you doing? All right. So we got 3 of you. Let's do the drawing for that real quick. Unless it's a short squeeze and shorts are covering, and it's the same but in reverse. Yeah, but if it's a squeeze, you can see the squeeze happening. So if the squeeze is happening, that's kind of, I mean, that's what you're looking for, right? Like this could have been a short squeeze, like, right? Shorts could have piled in all from yesterday, and it started the squeeze here, and once it kept on going and it wasn't stopping, more shorts were like, okay, crap, well, I'm gonna take my short off before it, like, if their shorts were like in here, it's starting to come up here. Well, they don't want to go red on the trade, right? They're looking for this thing to go even lower, so they start to buy. Then it starts to go high of day. Then the people with all their stops here, and then boom, right? So that's especially why I like moves up here, because if it is a short squeeze, it's probably not going to stop until there's no more shorts that are underwater. They're just, or in the green, like they're probably either covered or looking to add, right? If you didn't cover your short from here, right, at this 820 area, then you're looking to add, right? You're not looking to, or just hold on to it. You're not looking to sell up here unless like your broker makes you. But obviously, I would think on a move like this, that's not going to be the case. And my job is to find the top of that move, right? I'm not just going to get in just because it's squeezing. I'm going to wait until people stop buying it. I'm going to wait until people start to sell it. I'm going to wait until people start to short it, right? So those three things that I said are all the three factors that I'm looking for and that's what creates that jiggle, right? The jiggle is what we talk about. When price is moving up, you see the short squeeze happening. You see the people hitting the ask, hitting the ask. Obviously, that's what drives the price up, right? Hitting the ask, squeezing, short squeeze, hitting the ask. And then all of a sudden, it starts doing this, right? You see my last price line when I'm looking to get into a trade. You see it start doing this, right? It went from doing this, right? Kept doing this, maybe a little jiggle in there every once in a while, but then it starts doing this, right? That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that jiggle. And then that's when I enter, and I'm looking for the drop, right? So I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm actually saying you're right. But I'm not looking to just randomly enter into the squeeze itself. I'm obviously trying to time the top. That's why timing is everything. Yeah, no, I got what you're saying. All right, let's do this. So we got 3 entries. We got LA to BKK, Bellman, and Rue. Good luck to all 3 of you. This is for a week. All you have to do if you win, guys, join the Discord. Links in the description below. Find me in there over the weekend. I'll get you the login credentials, and you'll be good to go. It's that simple. Good luck. Good luck. LA to BKK. Congrats, man. All you got to do, find me in Discord, man, and we'll get you set up. Rue, Bellman, sorry you didn't win this time. Obviously, come back next week. I do this every single week, so it'll be there for you next week. It's really valuable, I'm telling you. Just keep coming back. Obviously, you can see we don't get that many people, but while we're still at this level where we're not getting that many people, get in while you can, because next week, with LA not being here, able to win, you could technically have a 50-50 shot next week. Who knows? I've had times where only one person wanted to enter because, everyone else in here already has the scanners. So, oh, alrighty. LA says he wants to donate. Such a nice guy. He just wanted to see himself win. I love the Pokeball. So you do get a 50-50 shot. Here we go. It is going to be, it's so close. It was literally like on the line, but it says Bellman. So congrats to Bellman. Again, find me on the Discord. Link down below. We'll get you hooked up. So I want to do the awesomeness one too. So you're definitely going back in there. I'll just put you as LA. Shin, Alpine, since he showed up. Thomas. Who else is here? Did I get Jag? I didn't get Jag. Brian was here. Mom was here. Let's see who else is in here right now. Akmal, you're here. Can't forget you. Could just scroll up. Might be easier. Got 20 people in here. Sammy's here. Yeah, type 27 in if you want to be part of the Wheel of Awesomeness to end the stream. Yahtzee. It's literally for nothing. It's just, it's a way to just participate, and my way of saying thank you for being here and supporting the channel. Maybe eventually I'll do something like give away some money via PayPal or something, but not in that position just yet. Brad stopped by. David did not stop by. Jeff stopped by. I'm going to go yell at David. Scrolling. Biz was here. It's kind of a cool thing. You can always come back, like if you left earlier as well. Ricky was here. Justin was here. Can't forget Justin. GDT. Zishan was here. Alright, I think that was pretty much everybody. I mean, I'm sure there's more people here, but... Kevin, that's right. I must have missed you on the way up. Alright, let's see who is the Wheel of Awesome for this weekend. Just remember, when you win this, go buy a lottery ticket. It means something. With that said, good luck, and here we go. Oh, look at it go. It's like Wheel of Fortune. Whoa, and it's Alpine winning the Wheel of Awesomeness this week. Congrats, man. I hope everybody has a good weekend. I appreciate you being here. Remember, no trading Monday. The market is closed. Enjoy it. Enjoy the day off. Do something, you know, for yourself. Do something with the family. Do something to get your mind nice and ready for Tuesday. Have a great weekend. I will see you guys Tuesday morning. Until then, peace.